Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. And this movie came out in 1985, and it is the fifth installment in the Friday the 13th franchise. And like all of the Friday the 13th sequels, I felt as though this one was about on par, like in terms of entertainment value. Like, it was funny bad for me. A lot of people don't really seem to like this movie that much. I thought it was about on the same quality as the rest of the sequels. Much more entertaining than the first one, that's for sure. I would imagine that it just delivers everything you would want out of this series if the twist at the end of the movie didn't exist. And I'm not going to say what happens during that point in the movie, but there's basically a checklist for Friday the 13th sequels at this point, and I think this movie gets all of them a check mark on each of these boxes, and I just don't see what this movie did particularly wrong that would say it stands out as being one of the worst. And I would say that it was one of the most boring sequels, probably the most boring at this point. Out of everything that I've seen parts 1 through 5. I haven't seen 8, which I hear is pretty bad, but still, I don't think this movie's that bad or that boring, or nothing about it stood out to me as like really dull, except for like maybe the third act, which went on for too long. And as fun as it is to watch Jason Voorhees kill a bunch of people, it does kind of get a little boring after a while with like a chase scene, because I don't really care about these characters at all. And it just goes on for too long for my liking, and because I'm not emotionally invested and I don't care for the music, just like all of these movies. And it's really cheesy the way everything is presented, and it's not a good movie by any means, but it is definitely entertaining for the most part. And there are some kills in this movie that I really liked and thought were really fun. And I liked that this movie had a lot of characters for it to kill off. And each kill in this movie was kind of fun and really well done and kind of creative. And I felt as though this series, at this point, it's kind of figuring out what to do at this point. Like, it has a formula it needs to follow, and it goes with it, and it's just fun and exciting. Like, not in a traditional, like, good horror movie way, in a sense that it's funny bad. Like, I enjoy these movies about as much as I enjoy the Saw sequels. Like, they're funny bad, whereas this one is, like, it's funny bad as a slasher movie, whereas Saw is, well, I probably don't even need to explain what Saw is in terms of entertainment value, because I explained pretty well how I feel about those movies on my channel already. And there isn't really too much else this movie does that's new for the franchise. It's more of the same, and there are some elements that are different, like Tommy going insane, and he's like imagining Jason Voorhees, and he's like trained himself to be like really cool, and he's like a fighter, and he's like trained to do all these things, even though it doesn't really make any sense. Like, where did he learn how to do that? Because he was apparently in a mental institution for like, I don't even know how long, at least 10 years, maybe longer. Because in the fourth film, he's just a kid. In this movie, he's a full-grown adult. And I was never told, like, how many years later. It's just, this is where we're at now. And I thought the scenes where Tommy was hallucinating Jason Voorhees was pretty funny. And those were some of my favorite parts of the movie. And there's plenty of really funny characters in this movie. Like, not intentionally funny, but when they get killed off, it's pretty funny. And it's just another Friday the 13th movie. A bit more boring than the previous 3 sequels. But I would come back to this one just because it was funny. And overall, if you're a fan of the Friday the 13th movies, like I am, and what I mean by that is, in the same way that I am, I'm just laughing at the movies, not with the movies. and I enjoy them as like funny bad slasher films that just fail in every way. And if you're a fan of that kind of stuff, then check this movie out. It's for you. Everyone else, no, this is not a movie for you. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, a 4 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. And my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for American Psycho 2, All American Girl. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.